I vividly remember being a sort of 11-year-old in chemistry class and discussing with my friends the value of proportional representation and Jeremy Thorpe. Uh, PR was really the love child of the old Liberal Party. And as a democratic system, to many in Britain, it still feels more foreign than French delicacies. Proportional representation is simple in theory. You get seats in Parliament in proportion to the votes you receive. If 25% of the country vote for the Pink Party, you get roughly 25% of the seats. Compare that with first past the post, our current system, where you get millions of votes and no seats, as UKIP once did, or win a majority government on just over a third of the vote, as Labour did in 2005 and 2025. Now, PR isn't new. It's the love child, as I say, of the old Liberal Party, not the centrist Lib Dems as we know today, but the more eccentric, idealistic party of Joe Grimmond and David Steele and Jeremy Thorpe. PR was their dream of levelling the political playing field, a way to end the seesaw tribalism of Labour and the Conservative Party and bring genuine pluralism to Parliament. But the tragedy of PR is not just that it's never arrived, it's that Labour has again and again had the chance to deliver it and walked away, as indeed did the coalition government. But walking through the four of the most damning examples, the 1977 Lib-Lab Pact, Labour could have exchanged support from the Liberals for electoral reform. David Steele was open to PR. Labour had the votes. Indeed, tribalism won out. Labour backed away, and within 2 years, Thatcher was in Downing Street. So you could argue, provocatively, that Labour's aversion to PR gave us the 1980s. In 2010, in the aftermath of the election, Labour could have explored a coalition with the Lib Dems and the SNP. There was a numerical path to government, but Labour, tired, wounded and unwilling to compromise, preferred opposition to partnership, and the Lib Dems went with the Tories, and 5 years later we had Brexit. There's a pattern which is beginning to emerge. In 2011, the AV referendum was sabotaged. The alternative vote was a modest tweak to the system, not PR itself, but Labour, or large parts of it, couldn't even bring themselves to support that. The referendum was half-hearted, poorly argued, easily lost, and that was the last time electoral reform reached the national stage. With Brexit and the silent death of PR voting rights, there is a theory that PR can never be put to the public again, can never be put to Parliament again. So when we left the European Union, we lost, as Sayang points out, we lost not only our operating system of proportional we lost the only operating system of proportional representation of PR-based elections to the European Parliament. For 40 years, British voters could experience proportional voting once every 5 years. It wasn't much, but it was something. And when Brexit wiped that out, the silence from the Labour benches was deafening, not a whisper of protest, not a motion in defence of the principle of PR. So, where are we now? We are ironically in a position where PR may be the only way to stop the rise of Reform UK, a party born of disaffection, turbocharged by our winner-takes-all system. Now, I also happen to believe, incidentally, that Reform will sabotage its own rise. But quite apart from that, if it doesn't, then Reform could split the right-wing vote or concentrate power regionally in strange and unpredictable ways. Under PR, they'd get seats, yes, but so would everyone else, and the extremism of our politics might be diluted through compromise rather than concentrated through majority rule on minority support. But PR is hard to revive at this stage. Labour under Keir Starmer shows little appetite for it. That's true. And Starmer has avoided commitments to constitutional reform, preferring competence over vision. But there is so much that needs to be reformed at the moment. Not least, looking at Farage's holiday, a demand in a new bill that would insist that politicians who are elected to Westminster remain for the parliamentary term. They don't take holidays halfway through, and I think that is essential. It's more important to sort out the nature of the Commons than to fiddle around with the House of Lords, which oddly is the only bit of the parliamentary estate that works perfectly well. And though the Lib Dems still fly the flag of PR, they're not strong enough yet to push the issue alone. They may well be if they find themselves in opposition. Now, here's the paradox. If Reform's rise continues, it may frighten Labour and the Conservatives into action. PR may come not as an act of liberal idealism, but as a defensive measure to prevent a right-wing populist party from taking real power with 20% of the vote. It would be the final irony. The system scorned by Labour since the 1970s, the bastard child they refused to raise, may yet return to save the very structure that they were trying to protect. So we might ask not whether Britain wants PR, but can it survive much longer without it?